Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully well. Got to get everything to work. There it is. Dunzo funzo. Okay. Oh, shoot. Well, we are officially live. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully well. I will be reading the chat. I have it in front of me. Um, Also checking a couple of things really quick, making sure I haven't lost my mind. Uh, it has been one heck of a day. It really has. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the Indianapolis Regional and how the event went for me. Um, you know what? I have a way to check my notes. I have a way to look. Uh, Give me a second. I'm going to pull it up. That would be here. Okay. So we're going to go through it round by round. We're going to talk about what I could have done better and what happened in the round overall. And we'll show off the list here in a little bit. Um, I think it's easier to start there. So, round one, I played against Brandon. Brandon's been around for a hot minute. We all kind of know what it does. Um, and it was not a bad start. Like in all seriousness, it was a double loss, but that game felt winnable. We went into time. I had five cards in hand. I had Droplet. I had Thrust. He hit Droplet out of hand, but I still had Thrust. I still had some board breakers. So I had the ability to I forced his Ecclesia effect and made him tag out. And I had full combo still in hand to be able to press through for game. Um, and it didn't. I just didn't have enough time, which is that was the breaks. It's part of the game. Um, so then which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Round two. Obviously, it's a double loss, so a double loss puts me into a lower table, which happens. It is what it is. And I was like, well, we're having another regional start where I have to play out of my mind for the final 6 rounds, and it's not going to matter. That did not happen today. Um, so I rolled. I was playing against the guy playing Odeon, and really nice guy. In my round two matchup, he's playing Odeon. I got shiftered real early, and I was like, okay, so if I'm playing under shifter, I'm just gonna pass. Like, we'll just see what happens. I had Molcharmi Fulos in hand. I had Ash. Fulos didn't do anything. Um, I had full combo, but I needed the graveyard in order for my deck to actually be able to play the game. And I said, okay, screw it. If we're gonna play under shifter, we're gonna play under shifter, and I'm just gonna pass and hope he can't kill me. If it was Vanquish Soul K9, I probably lost the game on the spot. It was not. It was Odeon, so he makes a couple of plays, but I'm able to Ash Wand and imperm something else, and it was fine. It was a good spot to ultimately to be in. Um, and then on the crackback, I was able to just put up too much damage and was able to kill him. Game two, I had to play through it. He did not open shifter, but I was able to play through it and able to do my full plays. Able to just continually take his monsters. I used Droplet in the damage step to uh, mitigate damage. So I was able to take it 2-0 against Odeon. Feeling pretty good. 1-1, X1 at this point, and my loss is a double loss. Not a big deal. Happens. Round three, I pull up against Labyrinth, and in game one, he had no hand, nothing. He had none of the furniture, nothing. So I was able to full combo, and so without giving me any kind of information, instead Scoops goes to game two. Game two, I sided in a whole bunch of mulch armies, which ended up being a mistake. But I dug in, and through the course of the games, I drew into Feather Duster. I think we grew in game three. I kept Feather Duster in, and he was able to Daruma cannon me during my turn because he beat me in game two because I had the wrong cards in. So game three, go first. I was able to set up a board, kind of, it was like a very slow start, but once I was able to establish a monster, it spiraled out of hand and out of control. And with Harpy's Feather Duster, I was able to clean up the entire back row and just completely prevent him from playing the game. Um, Thrust and Feather Duster. Who would have thought those are good cards in 2026? But here we are. So we're X1 in round three. Going into round four, playing against what was he playing? I forget what he was playing. I am very sorry, Chase, if you're watching this. Tell me what you were playing. I forget. I'm so sorry. I have a bad memory with this. That round was kind of a blur to me because I was hungry and I ended up eating afterwards. Um, yeah, I don't remember what happened in that one. Round four is a blur. Round five, um, it went to time again. I was playing against that yummy pile, the Triff special, and I absolutely had the game. Oh, I remember what my previous opponent was playing. He was playing the not White Forest, Azamina Elf Note. It was really cool, actually. Full disclosure, it was a really neat deck. That's what he was playing. Massive brain fart, but Forbidden Droplet, Thrust. I had everything to break a board in game two. In game one, I was able to establish a board, cracking it apart with again Forbidden Droplet and the non-engine. So yeah, round five, we went to time. I won game one against the Yummy Pile. I was able to break the board. Uh, Game two, no. I won. Yeah, I won game two. So he won game one. I won game two. We went into game three. In game three, he missed lethal by proceeding to main phase two, declaring it. We had a judge there because we were super close to time. I had drop. And we were in a game state that was super weird. I had his SP. I took it with one of my guys, and it was permanent. So I've got his SP. I bring back a card. I have Forbidden Droplet and Crescendo. So surprise, surprise, I'm playing Orchist. Um, I'm sure you're just flabbergasted and appalled to hear that I am playing Orchist. Yeah, so we went into time, but I had full combo because I had Away to Girsu, I had Harp and Grave. I had used all of his disruption and every card that was inactive in live effect. I had Droplet to negate his card so he couldn't shuffle anything back. And I had Crescendo. Like, obviously, I could just send Crescendo at his SP, negate his stuff. He only had monsters, so he couldn't respond with a monster effect. Boom. We just run through it. And we would have had game, but we didn't have that 5 minutes that we needed. We needed 5 minutes of time, and we just didn't have it. So, unfortunately, that is where the X2 begins in round five. Round six, I played against the guy named Adam. He nice guy. Um, all of my opponents were great. Even my double losses, like they weren't playing slow at all. I do not blame my record on slow playing opponents. It's not them. Like it wasn't them. I wasn't slow playing. I think we were playing at a really reasonable pace. It was just interactive games of Yu-Gi-Oh. We'll get to it. So round six, I ended up taking it. What was I playing against? Was it the Yummy Pile? I don't remember what I was playing against. Um, it, yeah. Again, it was a long tournament. I didn't write everything down. I obviously. I do remember my round seven. My round seven was against Draco Tail, and I set up a full. I only saw Orcus cards, and I didn't see any of the things I needed to negate the traps. It was just a bad. It was an unfortunate situation to be in where Arthalion, Phimina into like decks like mine, where it's Orcus. If I don't see any of my non-engine, I literally can't play around Arthalion. I just can't. Um, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. So he just was able to get everything. I couldn't do anything. There's nothing you can do. If they have everything, they have everything, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Um, I don't think the Draco Tail is necessarily a bad matchup for the deck. Full disclosure. Um, but if you don't see any of your non-engine and all you see are your Orcust cards, Orcust on its own hard loses to Arthalion. There's nothing you can do because it just puts stuff from the grave back into the hand, and then you can't play the game, and they get free resources out of it. So it's unfortunate, but that is not the fault of the opponent. That is just unfortunate mathematics playing a part against me. Again, who would have thought that mathematics doesn't make sense? Whatever, we're here. Round 8. So I'm playing for my life, and I'm playing against a really nice guy. Actually invited him to the Discord. I think he's a subscriber now. Name is Dominic. So shout out Dominic. Like shout out to you, dude. Um, super super cool guy. He was playing Vanquish Soul Canine, and I was able to just not let him play the game. I knew he was stuck with attributes in hand that he needed for effects. So I knew I didn't have to worry about Ash and Bell because he needed the attributes. He just didn't have them. He didn't have excess attributes. So that was a benefit for me because I didn't need them. I was able to play and not have to worry. Sometimes when you've played a deck for a while, you can kind of pick up on their tendencies. Um, and sometimes you have to make calculated decisions, and unfortunately, the calculated decisions just didn't end up working out in his favor. Um, he played really well too. It was a really good game. It was really fun. It was one of my favorite games of the weekend, to be completely honest with you. So I was able to take that. We're X3. We're real close to making, our invite, which was the goal. The goal was to get the invite. So we're into round 9. One and done. I was locked in, and I walked into the yummy pile, and um, game 1, he just built full board. I didn't let him know what I was on. I belled and I impermed, and it just wasn't enough. It just nothing happened. It wasn't even close. Too many interruptions. Everything bridges. Nothing mattered. There was no level of interaction. So game 2, he opens double Perulia and has Nib, Ash, and Bell. Again, sometimes people just have everything. This is one of those situations where my opponent had everything. You may hear rain in the background. It just started raining here. It has been hotter than hell here today. Our air conditioner decided it just doesn't like people, and has been trying to kill us all day. It's been like 85 degrees in my house all day, so I wasn't streaming. I wasn't firing up any extra or unnecessary electronics today. Yeah, so that was my tournament. It was X4. I actually felt like the deck was not the problem. Um, it was just a really really good. I'm really happy with this list. I think it's great. There are changes I would make. There's about 4 cards that I feel like I sided them in, and they didn't feel like they did anything. Or one of them I didn't side in at all, because I misunderstood the appropriateness of it, and with my siding pattern, it didn't make sense anymore. That's a mistake on my part. I have to live with that. There are changes I would make though, so we'll go over to those here in a little bit. I'll do a more in-depth deck profile in the coming days, but let me pull up the deck and we'll get this party started. Uh, oh no, it didn't save. Hold on, we'll get this fixed. I gotta fix a whole thing here. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need those. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, boom. Don't need that. 2 of these. Boom, boom. Cut that. All right. What's missing? I can't spell. Got those. Luckily, I have my list memorized. It's good to memorize your list, kids. All right, almost done. And I swear by the moon and the stars and the sun, I'll be there. Mm-hmm. I am almost done, I swear, everyone. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we have the deck list. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it. In the corner. All right. So um here's the list. So we're starting off with 3 copies of the boy Girsu, the Orcus Mekk-Knight. Um, Obviously, it's an Orcus deck, and with all the new stuff, it is super necessary. So you play it. 3 Harpor. Um, I have. This is also full combo on its own. It plays a little awkward. Um, but it's nice to be able to have like this being ashed. And if you have one of these in hand, all it does is makes crescendo a little harder to get to, but it's not a big deal because ashing this isn't a big deal, but imperming it is actually really bad. This being impermed is worse than it being ashed. It being ashed, I could still use the ignition effect to summon a token, and I still have 2 bodies. But if this is impermed, I can't make the body, and that comes up a lot with Girsu. Now there are times where when I was playing this, I was going into the other engines, and I'll show some like combos with this in a little bit, but um, we'll go over the mistakes first. There's 4 cards that you'll see in the side deck that I'm just like these are terrible, and there might be some other changes I make, but yeah, the 3 Girsu, 3 Harp, and 1 symbol, 1 World Crown is perfect. It's an 11 card Orcus package, so it's these, the World Crown for the free summon, Babel, Crescendo, Foolish. These 11 cards make up your entire Orcus package. It's all you need. It's super consolidated so that you can maximize your efficiency, and you can often have multiple link bodies on board so that this like Galatea I is just made in a weird way. There's a reason why we're playing one of the cards later. We're playing one Eldom, one Swen with 3 Chant, 1 Vision, and 1 MST. So the point here is that if you open Chant, what really happens is as long as you have a quick play spell, this bridges the Sky Striker engine, and you're guaranteed to draw off of engage. Um, it is a very, very nice little combo to be able to have. One of the changes that I might make to the deck is actually playing a larger Sky Striker package with this small Radiant Typhoon package. Like, that is one of those things that I kind of missed. Is I felt like Imperm was good, but I played Droplet already. So one of the things I was thinking about was putting in additional Sky Striker cards so that these are always live, because I'd rather have the draw, and I have the Sky Striker cards as board breakers, which is always really nice. And the Radiant Typhoons just basically mean that I get more free spells in Grave, especially if I'm playing like Shark Cannon and Afterburners to break a board. It's really nice to force them to use an interaction that they wouldn't otherwise want to use. I've actually thought about building a bigger Sky Striker package just for that. But that's theories for later. I like the free draws, and this facilitates the full Sky Striker package without having to consolidate to additional Sky Striker names, which is really nice. MST is usually a discard off of Vision. Like if you open double Chant, it's a really nice board that you get to end on like with multiple draws, because you'll draw like 4 or 5 times through the combo, and you search a bunch, which is always really good. Which increases the math to seeing these 10 cards. It's why you can play this at such a consolidated number, is because you see Chant add Eldom add Swen add Vision, link to Camilla link dump Engage, make Kagari, add Engage, and now you've searched your deck 1, 2, 3 times. 4, one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times off of that one card. And now that, with the starting 5, if the other 4 cards are just nothing, well, you've just seen 4 more. And then you get to draw 2 and draw 3, and you get to search one of them. So you get to know, like, okay, with Vision, I draw 2. Even if I see one of these, it's a free, you discard it off of that, you play Engage, and now you get a free extra draw, and you search the other one. So there's no more bricks in the deck, like, except for the Vision, the Chant. But if you open double Chant, you pitch the MST, and then you just draw onto this, and you just get, bye. Doesn't matter. So, like, this is a really, really nice consolidated engine that just really, really works. It's 12 cards for the supplementary secondary engines. But, again, this bridges into this, and it makes it so that when you normal summon these, you have already baited most of the interaction, so that you're able to just kind of play the game. 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 2 Bell, 3 Imperm. These are kind of like the standard. I wanted a 3rd Bell over the Imperms are good. Bell is just better. Imperm is I'm thinking about siding Imperm or cutting it down to 2. I think Bell is better in this format. But Imperm is a really strong card. Not playing into the Canines is always really nice. Like, that's one of the reasons why I was able to do so well against Vanquishal Canine, is I was able to use my Imperms instead of my Ashes and Bells to start, which was a huge benefit. All right, and then we're playing 3 Droplet. It's Droplet. The cool thing here is that, like, Droplet is really good in this deck because it turns all these on, but it also can add spells for these, which is also really good. And you can put Crescendo in the grave to search Gearsu in a grind game, and then just do your full Orcus combo, because most of your extra deck is Dark Machines anyway. So you can go through the Orcus lineup and combo like twice in a game with minimal investment in the main and extra deck, which is really, really nice. Fallen on the Virtuous is just one of the best cards in the game. Like, this card is so good. I'm so happy that I played this at 2. There were times where I was like, I wish I had a 3rd. I'm glad I didn't, in hindsight, because I don't know what I would switch. But yeah, it's an insane card. It's so good. If you could fit it, you should fit it. 3 Upstart Goblin. I know it's 43. but the Upstart Goblin means that it stays at 40, but it increases my spell count. So the math here is that Upstart means that yes, I'm at 43, which means in my opening 5 I'm less likely to open the bad cards I don't want to open, but they're not real cards, which increases my odds of seeing cards that I do want to see and increases the number of spells in my graveyard, making Engage Live faster and better. Also, if they're going to droll me and they droll me here, then I just go into the Orcust package and say, that's adorable anyway. Moving on. And it's super nice to be able to do that. So it's a good bait card. Because this won't play in a draw because you just use it in the draw phase, so they can't use it to get into this. And then, you summon this, you start your searching, because you'll save the upstarts for later. And if anything, they become droplet fodder, what have you. So, and then Called by the Grave because it's one of the best cards in the game. On to the extra, we're going to start here. So we're playing one Galatea Eye. It is so good. The best part about this card is that you can constantly banish the Crescendo to then re-add it with Enlil Girsu, and then replace it in the deck. So you can take control of one of your opponent's monsters as a disruption, and then you'll bring back Galatea and reset it from the deck. You cost nothing. It doesn't cost you anything. You just continually recycle this Crescendo. Use its effect, negate. Okay, banish it to summon Galatea Eye. Shuffle it back, add it, shuffle it back in. Boom. Right? You're able to take a monster, and then you're able to reset the Crescendo off of Galatea, make Ding 2 Electric Boogaloo, and you just crush your game. Because you've got one of their monsters, you've got two 2600 beat sticks. It gets out of hand very fast. It's an absolutely insane card. So yeah, Galatea Eye was one of the best extra deck cards of the entire weekend. 2 copies of Galatea. Galatea is the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't care what anybody says. It's my favorite. It's the girl. It's my favorite. It's my favorite card. I love Galatea. It's the best. Being able to shuffle back into recur resources is always really nice. It's just it's top tier. One copy of Long Girsu again, very good card. I use this mostly to bridge when I had to go there's a way you have to bridge if you have very minimal Orcust cards with Galatea Eye. If you only have Sybil Skeleton and World Crown, it's not ideal. So you have to find a way to maximize these cards. Long Girsu kind of helps you bridge into Enlil Girsu. Enlil Girsu is part of your end board. My often end board was him and a Ding Girsu. That was it. It was such a good field because there's so much with things like the Fallen and the Virtuous. I'm gonna pop that. Ding, no, you're not. Being able to have 2 protections with Ding Girsu and Enlil Girsu, it's very difficult to deal with for a lot of decks. One of my other favorite plays was making things with Hornet Drones. They're gonna use the Fallen and the Virtuous, IP, send this, make SP, banish something out of the graveyard, and then when they go in to do whatever, I'm able to just send it to the graveyard with Enlil Girsu, and I still have my full combo because of Ding. I'm able to just ding them during their turn and stuff. So it gives me multiple layers of interaction that is just super nice. So yeah, you've got to play. I think this is the perfect Orcust engine right here for the extra deck. It's a little bigger than I would like. It's 7 cards. It's almost the same size as the main deck. However, because of its level of recyclability, it makes sense that you play that many. We're playing IP and SP, as I alluded to earlier. This card doesn't come up. I didn't play against a single Lunalight player. And even if I did play against Lunalight, I feel like I have enough things here to prevent that card from doing anything that it doesn't matter. Now, that could be a fallacy on my part, but there is a card in the side deck that I was playing. Now, Gorgon is probably a little bit more necessary, but we'll get into that in a minute. Then we're playing one copy of Camellia, one Hayate, and one Kagari. These 2 are necessary with Camellia and Kagari. You got to play those 2 because they're part of that whole lineup. And then Hayate gives you a down link arrow. This is what matters, because if you have this and you have Girsu in hand, or Harp, you can just go, okay, well, Kagari's done his thing. I've done the engage loop-de-loop. I'm now going to make Hayate normal summon Harp, link 1, make Galatea I to the link zone it points to, add World Crown with a discard of whatever if I don't already have it, and then I'm just able to go off. And if I already have it, then I add Babel, and I'm able to set Crescendo or what have you. Um, there's a lot of choices here. So these three, I wanted to play a larger Sky Striker package only because since I'm not playing the Yummies, I wanted to make sure that I had uses for them. And a down arrow ended up being something that I needed. And I like Hayate's ability to just attack and so if and this is going to be even better with the extended package of Sky Striker cards I might be looking into. With Hayate, I'm able to attack directly, and with the attack direct, I'm able to just play the game. I can just dump another Sky Striker card, and now Engage is even better for like the second half of the game. Like I've got 2 spells in Grave, and I have a way to Hayate. Okay, I don't want to risk it. I go to battle, I attack with Hayate, I dump, main 2, engage, clear the board. So Hayate plays that double function, especially moving forward, to be a part of the board breaking. And then we're playing the 2 Albions because Albion is Albion. What are you gonna do? Now, for the side deck, we're playing 2 copies of Drill and Lickbird. This honestly is so good. Like, I wish it was better. I don't like it at 2. I'm almost to the point where I don't want to play Droll in this deck at all. It just doesn't do anything. Droll is not the card I'm planning like I would cut per se, but it is a card I'm contemplating maining along with like siding the 3 Imperms and putting these 2 in the main, putting a 3rd Bell in, maybe adding a Sky Striker name or 2 here. I don't know. But yeah, Droll is. If I'm going to play it, I would rather it be in the main than in the side. I feel like it's just wasted in the side, especially in the current format. 3 Perulia. Fulos almost never came up today. Yesterday, it didn't happen. Which is unfortunate because I think Fulos is a great card, but it never mattered. Like it was never a card that I did anything with. Outside of one game, it did come up once. I lied. Against the Elf Note deck, I did see it, and it helped me draw into enough cards to just destroy the board. I actually dropped the second one just later on in the turn because why not? But yeah, I was able to just crack that one because I had every card in the game, like every card you could possibly want in my hand. But Perulia, it's a good card, especially in theory. It just didn't come up. This is the card. I like this card. Let me be frank. I like HAMP. But I have to control a Sky Striker Ace monster to special summon this card to either hit field by tributing it. Is it good? Yes. But my common siding strategy was if I'm going second, these cards, these 5 plus MST, these 6 cards don't do anything. That gives me 6 spots that I'm able to put in board breakers instead and let the Sky Strikers do their thing. That was a fallacy on my part. I left this in from previous iteration and didn't think to what I was currently doing in my side decking strategy. So with my side decking strategy, knowing that if I'm going to be going second, I'm taking these cards out. There's no point in playing it at all. It's a wasted spot. So HAMP, while good in certain strategies, this ain't one of them. This card's probably going to get cut. It is here to show you what I played and why, but don't play HAMP. This, I would have rather it be any other Sky Striker spell, another Thrust, another Lightning Storm, another Evenly, another Raigeki, whatever. Is this the only card I plan on cutting? No. There's more. But we're getting there here in a moment. We're playing 2 Thrust. Thrust is great. It is so good at helping you break a board. Especially with all these cards that we're siding, which is like Feather Duster, Raigeki, Evenly, and Lightning Storm. Being able to just, okay, I'm just going to add something to clear the board is super nice. And then 3 copies of Mistaken Arrest. This card would also get cut moving forward. Current iterations, there's so many cards I would rather this be. Again, I think Droll would be better served in the main. and I think Mistaken Arrest would be better served anywhere else. Um, that again, this is a fallacy on my part. I made this mistake. Now I do want cards to be able to go first, and by putting in the Droll and Lockbirds in the main, and maybe even cutting Imperm down, figuring out how I want to do this, that's the thing I have to look at. But maybe cutting an upstart, I don't know. I like the upstarts, but that theory can change. I could also just up this to 45, and I don't. The math doesn't change it very much because this makes it 42, but with more green spell cards, which is what's necessary because I have 21 spells, 4 traps. Whereas if I put in these two, now it's 20, 21, and 4. It's kind of weird. But that's math I got to tinker with later. So yeah, the Mistaken Arrest still would have, and HAMP would definitely be cut. Droll would likely be in the main, and then I'd have a couple of side deck spots to work with. That's the list that I took to the Indy Regional. Again, I feel like this deck is really good. Oh, I can't slow it. Now, let's show off how it works. Give me just a second. Let's show it off. So, in the draw phase here, we have a free discard here, and let's see what happens. So, we're able to activate this in draw phase to add Eldum to hand. Then we can special summon Eldum effect in main phase, obviously. Able to add Swen, which we're going to special summon. We're just going to skip a step here. Add this to hand. Right? We have Widow Anchor, so now we link to. We make Camellia. Camellia will dump. Engage. We're going to make Kagari, which will let us add Engage to hand. Nope. To hand. Now we're in a great spot. Because now what we can do is we have one spell engraved. We're going to change that to 3 here with 1 activation. We're going to do that. That's okay. Draw 2. There's a Foolish, another Imperm. So what we pitch here is the Widow Anchor. Because the Fallen and the Virtuous is a really good card. Now we've got 3 spells engraved. Look at us go. But we can guarantee the activation of this card. By doing this, we can go ahead and send Harpoor to the graveyard just in case we need it later. Now what we get to do is activate the Engage, add the Hornet Drones, and we have to draw a card. And there's another Harpoor that we don't need. But by doing this, what we can do is a lot. So we link this off into Kagari. Then we will normal summon Harp. Link 1. Make Galatea Eye. Clear the effective Eye. We don't need the Hornet Drones, which will let us add Babel. Because we aren't going to need the extra bodies here because we're able to go link 2 here. I'll activate that for now. And we're going to make Galatea. And now we're finally going to use our first Harp effect to summon that and dump a simple skeleton to grave. Then we can shuffle this back. We have that live. We get to set a crescendo. Right? Do that. Now we link 3. Long Girsu. We'll banish this to summon Galatea I back. We'll banish Symbol, special summon Galatea back. Link these 2 off. Make Enlil Girsu, Rachir. And then we can use the effect of Enlil Girsu, add this back to hand. We will not take anything. And we get to set a whole bunch of cards. So now our end board has 2 levels of protection. This, which can be used at any point with all these, like we have all these Orcus cards. We also have a whole bunch of interaction. And you're able to play through the majority of Disruption. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But is it like a really, really good and fun way to play Orcus? It absolutely is. You could also play an Azamina version of this deck, and I have been tinkering with it. If you wanted to play like the Dark Magician and Destruction stuff, there's ways to fit it in here. But like, let's just win more. Where this is super consolidated, and you can insulate your combo to not need your normal summon until much later, depending on what you open. And having the ability to just kind of dig through your deck for interactions and board breakers is super nice. I will say that Droll can be annoying for half this deck, but for the Orcus part, you're just like, all right, anyway, moving on. I'm really proud of this one. I think it's really, really cool. But if you wanted to play the Dark Magician engine in this, what you do is what I would recommend you do is like cut the upstarts, cut the Fallen and the Virtuous. You don't need them, which would give you 2 spots for free. So you get rid of these 5 cards right there. You can cut Called by that 6. So like, let me duplicate it. Now let's do this. We'll do those 2. We'll cut those. And let's see. What else would not be needed in this version of the deck? We want 1 DFL star. We want 3 wanted. Deception. Hallowed. And Gaze. This would be all you need. It's 45, but you keep your spell count pretty close, right? You won't be able to play Droll, which is whatever, and then you play Dark Magician. Wait, go back. Dark Magician and Destruction. Dragoon. And then we need an Ilia Sylvia. Which, for that, all you do is you cut the Gorgon, put it in Ilia Sylvia, and boom. Look at that. You've got that whole package in here for free. You're going to activate spell cards. That's what the deck does. Now, you don't have a natural way to search this, but, like, again, you draw a billion times. And while it takes away certain non-engine cards like Upstart, this is better Upstart. If you can find it, play it. So let's save Jackass. Wait. Art Asa. So let's see how this deck works. Nope, that's the wrong button. Tool Room. Art Asa. Let's see how it looks. Well, we get to see Chant. Eldom, which will special Swen, add a vision. We're gonna dump an engage. Just gonna skip some steps here. Right, that's where we are. Okay. And so that means we have this in hand. Now we can just go activate vision, draw 2. Hey, look, we can just discard this to the graveyard. We have 3. Activate. You. We're going to add this. And we'll draw a card. And we'll do it again. And now we're not able to get to that engine that we were talking about here. They don't have a natural bridge to it. It's just one of those things where if you see it, you see it, and if you don't, you don't. There's nothing we can do about not seeing it. We just drew a ton of cards. We drew 10 cards. We went through 10 additional cards. We're about to go through more. But yeah, and then you have full Orcus combo right here, which is normal summon Gearsu. It's unfortunate. Let's try it again. Reset. Wow. That's everything you could possibly want. Yep. I want to see if I can get one where I can get into it, so we're going to try. I think the better thing would be to see how I can slim it down to 40. Let's see if we can cut 5 cards from this. All right, art. Go to art. So we have 5 cards we need to cut. Let's go with more draws or good draws. Let's see, do we need foolish? Not if we're going to draw 10 times. I think we could cut foolish. Cut called by. Because you want to play some non-engine stuff, and this is like the perfect non-engine. This might be better. Let's try this. 43 is kind of a magic number. Oh, I did it again. All right. Hey, look at that. We have like everything we could possibly want and more. We're going to go with chant and draw. We're able to add Eldom, which we're going to go ahead and skip here just so I don't have to go to the deck a million times. That. Add vision to hand. We're going to dump an engage here to grave. Okay. Because we're going to go through Camilla, who's going to get us Kagari. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. And Kagari would get us the second engage. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at with the the radiant type food stuff. Now we can do a whole bunch of drawing, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and draw 2. 1. There's a wanted. I feel validated. The graveyard. But before we start doing the engages, we should absolutely do this. Do this. We add Diabellstar to hand, so we don't see it. Now we have to use engage here. So we're not going to get the opportunity. So we're going to go ahead and engage. We're going to add the free discard to hand, and we're going to send this with the Avelstar because I don't. One card. Boom. We have to draw one. We have more than 3 spells engraved, as you can tell. Then we're going to go engage 2 Electric Boogaloo. Engage 2 Electric Boogaloo. We add Hornidrones. Draw. That's an unnecessary draw, but like it's pretty cool, I guess. So here we just don't get the Orcus package, which is kind of upsetting, but you know, what are you going to do? So we're going to special summon this. We're sending this to the graveyard. We're going to go ahead and set Deception, which we're just going to go ahead and use the. Wait, that's not what we wanted to do. To grave, we're using Hallowed, because we're going to summon Ilia Sylvia. Because we don't have to use Deception's effect to tribute. Then what we can do is we can banish this. Special summon the Dark Magician of Destruction. Declare the effect to add the Gaze of Tumaeus. And you get the Ilia Sylvia effect live. We got another free discard that we don't need. Yeah, and we have so much interaction here, like it's ridiculous. The only issue is that we don't have a natural bridge between the between these. But again, so many draws, like 43, we're down to 25. We've gone through nearly 20 cards, which is nuts. The fact that we didn't see 1 of 10 is crazier. I think it's a bigger deal. And then what? The draw for turn is, I don't even know how it's not an Orcus card at that point. That's just crazy. See, and this is perfect. It's nuts. So, the Indianapolis Regional, it was won. Hold on, I can close that out. Indianapolis Regional, it was won by Yummy, Tri-Brigade, Radiant Typhoon. There was 2 of them in the top 4. Mitsurugi, a Vanquish Soul Canine. The only deck we have the list for is the Odeon deck, and we're going to click it. We're going to look at it. 43 cards. It makes me feel validated. It is Angel Trumpeter, 1 Anubis, 1 Odeon, 2 Primate Dragon Ether Barrel, 1 Shifter, 3 Ash. Okay, oh my gosh, this deck plays like everything. 1 Terraforming, 3 Treasures of the King, 3 Primate Lordly Load, 1 Drill Beam, 3 Extract and a Frostbeat, 3 Imperm, 3 Evenly, 3 Solemn Warning, oh my gosh, 3 Purge, 3 Impulse, 3 Songs, 3 Apophis, or no, 2 Apophis, 2 Swamp Deity, 1 Serpent, and 1 Verdict. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty neat list. I don't think their extra deck matters too much. Pretty neat list. Playing every Dominus card under the sun, though. Oh my gosh. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, obviously, it's pretty good at top. We just have one list that we don't know from Tyler Sumner. I guess we'll see it at some point. But that is the regional recap. Things we discussed in the Discord. We talked about this a little bit. There's some ban list stuff that I think might happen if they were trying to clean up the game. that banlist stuff is going to be weird. I'm not sure how much they're actually going to do. I don't know if they're going to do any of it. But all these like what are they called? Pile decks. All these pile decks have just been running rampant, and it can be a little unfun. It can be a little unfun with all the other stuff going on. So maybe we'll see what they do. Um, it caught up. Um, it's interesting. The whole thing is interesting. But as Christian so aptly put it, pile decks are back, I guess. Um, see here. I'm just updating this list really quick. I'm setting up Master Duel right now. We'll play some Master Duel games real quick, and then I'll probably call it a night after that. Duelist Cup is still going on, so all right, I'm set up. Let's go ahead. We're gonna play like 2 games of Master Duel, and then I gotta call it a night. So let's get down to business. That's a cup of noodles. I didn't realize I was leveling up here. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna open all hand traps. Watch this. Watch. I bet. I don't play a lot of Duelist Cup, so I don't play a lot of Master. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh. Guess what I'm doing, boys? We switch. It's their turn. I don't want to do this anymore. Nah, we're good here. Playing against Sacred Beasts? That's what I want to know, or is this just an Unchained deck? It feels like an Unchained deck. We'll go with this. Oh my gosh, of course he is called by. All right, what else you got, buddy? He had the one up. Be like that sometimes. Unchained Soul of Yama. Oh, I forgot this was still legal. And now I can't use drill and Linkbird. Not today, Joe. I still have no room left, so pretty content with that. Nice. It is you, Bell. That's fine. Why, why did you do that? All right. Swing for 25. Oh, I can't activate that. I think I fucked that up. It's fine. Yama. It's Yama. It's your mama. haven't seen any of my engines so far. Oh, brother in Christ, what did I do? Doing dark. What is it? Wait, normal summon. This is not a good one. Yeah, I have literally seen none of my cards. I don't even know how I'm in this game. All right, yeah, we're done. I literally can't play the game. That was just a non-game. I literally saw nothing to do. Okay, we're gonna try that again. Sometimes that happens. Oh, good. It's a yummy. Okay, just let me play the game, guys. Just freaking let me play the game. If I could not open 5 fucking hand traps, that would be great. I don't normally swear on these things, but I'm really frustrated. Okay, well, go ahead, hit me with your charmies. I think we go Babel here. All right, let's lock into dark right away. Here, here we're gonna dump. Oh, that's how we do it. Okay. We just don't end with a ding gear 2 on board, which is fine. We're gonna boost the attack here. And the effective Galatea Eye. We're gonna banish Gear Suit for next turn. Sure, we'll activate the effective Galatea. Again. Whee! Yeah! Shadow! Woohoo! Gear Suit, like. Love you. Mm-hmm. Oh no, we love each other. I guess I don't know. No, you're good. Nobody ever remembers that effect. That's silly use. Oh, I didn't leave the extra monsters on. Unfortunate. Two target fucko. know when you're at. Oh, I just gotta remember he's under roll. That's fine. I'll just wait till damage step for my. Now we do. Damn it. Fucking. I hate this thing. Yeah. Base. wanted to do exactly. That was the target. Exactly 43. Had done it. What a game. Riveting gameplay. Good job, One Chan. That was. And we go up a rank. Ooh. I have not played a lot of this, as you can tell. Well, let's collect our stuff. Crucible. That is going to do it for tonight's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile and the breakdown for the event. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. But that's going to do it for me. So, talk to you guys next time. Deck profile will be out more in depth, the real card by card later this week. And until next time, Fusionists, good fun. Have luck.